Growing up, my parents always taught me that the best thing to do in life is to help someone else, and to make sure that if I ever have the chance and the opportunity to make sure I help as many people as I can. Virginia Beach is the largest volunteer rescue squad in the country. I remain calm based on my training. So with an EMT, I've been trained to do certain things. As an engineer, I'm also trained how to think a certain way. So we're always looking at the process and improving the process and figuring out how things work. I've actually worked at the shipyard a total of 8 years. I did 5 years and then I took a little break to have my son, and then I've come back now in about 3 years. I would say it's probably the greatest job I have is knowing that I do supply and I help support the U.S. military. My group is about a year old, and what our goal is to find material that may be discrepant prior to it shipping to the shipyard. It is important to inspect material because you want to make sure that the requirements have been met. We're making submarines and they have to surface. Our surface shifts have to be designed to take an impact. And if you don't make sure that the items that we've received were to the quality that we expect, that's extremely important for our end customer, which is ultimately the Navy. Since COVID-19 has occurred, we are no longer able to travel to the suppliers, so we now have developed a process where we submit forms to the suppliers and they do the surveillance on themselves and then submit it back to us for review. So I would say the connection is process thinking. When I'm in the shipyard and I'm doing surveillance, I assess the supplier, I assess the welding, and then I assess whether or not our protocols or our procedures have been met. When I'm on an EMT call, I'll show up, I assess the patient, and then I proceed with what our protocols are. Beach base, this is ambulance 16. Volunteering as an EMT is the best unpaid job I've ever had. It allows me to see another side of humanity, and it allows me to actually help someone. I get to see someone in their most dire moment, and I'm able to either offer a hand or maybe make them a little bit more comfortable than they are until they get to the place where they can get the help they really need. And you may only see them for a brief 5-10 minutes, but you know that you've actually changed someone's life, and that is beyond rewarding. So after a HOD call, and one actually does stick out in my mind, we were called to a 2-month-old that was turning blue. And being a mom, that is like your absolute worst fear. That is your worst call. My partner said he didn't know I could drive that fast. I was, driving and made it up to this 2-month-old. We were able to revive them. They were fine. Decompressing after that is you just go through and you make sure that you've done everything. You go through what you did and what you could have done better next time. And you just talked to your other EMT or your partner about the call. But the way that I decompress is, I go home to my son and I hug him. And that is, the best decompression for me, is knowing that he's there. And these people that are on the rescue squads are the most amazing people I've ever met. From the captains down to the EMTs and the paramedics, we're all volunteers. A lot of them that are in the Navy. I've met actually some that are stationed on submarines. We've been able to, say, hey, I built a submarine. And they say, well, I've been on one, I've lived on one, and they're great. So getting that reinforcement back from even my fellow EMTs is amazing. I'm Kelsey Lai and I build purpose.